Word. What's good, chosen ones? How's it going today? It's Friday. I don't know how it's already Friday. Like, I felt like just yesterday I was saying it was last Friday. Like, I feel like the weeks are going by so quick. And probably because it is. But, it's a hot day today here. And I feel like it was hot yesterday. So everyone's kind of cranky. Or maybe I'm just feeling cranky. But I feel like the general mood is like everyone's a little pissy. But that could just be the Bronx. That could just be. But anyway, that has nothing to do with anything, really. But I mean, kind of. I have like 4 different titles for today's word. How to keep going when the going gets tough. It's one title. Subtitle, how to stay energetic when you're zapped. Another title is burn out in order to turn out. And then I think the main message of what I'm trying to say is, like, every attack from the enemy is going to bring you closer to God if you let it, or it'll like burn you out when you're already feeling zapped, or like when it gets tough. So how do we, like, I don't know if anyone else is feeling this way at the end of the week, kind of. I feel like the general collective by the end of the week on Fridays is like people be turned, people be burned out. Yeah. But I'm really grateful for my energy still, and what I'm able to provide for myself, and able to find my peace still, able to get work done. There's nothing worse than like being burnt out and still not being able to get any work done. That's like definition of burnt out. But like, how do we kind of stay positive when we're feeling really tired, really exhausted, and uncertainty? Like when there's just uncertainty in life and you're tired of waiting. Like I think in all different types of life, and stages of life, we're kind of waiting for something. Some of us are waiting for a phone call. Some of us are waiting for an event. Some of us are waiting for, I think we could all like use a little bit more money right now. Like I feel like everyone's like really stressed out about money. It's just like in general what I feel like been picking up in just some conversations and whatnot. I literally feel like when I go into the city with cash, it somehow disappears, and I like don't like that. Like I literally like I hold off on like eating until like, and then I'm like, okay, well I need calories because I'm skateboarding, so then I like buy a sandwich, and then I don't know, it's like so weird, but it feels like I don't know, it's like there's never enough money. It feels like it's so weird, and like that stresses me out. So what I'm trying to say is, maybe you feel stressed out right now too. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're having a great day. But how to like keep positive, how to stay positive, how to stay energetic when you're like literally zapped. And like, I don't know if there's any other insomniacs out there or anything like that, but I like slept in 3 different rooms last night trying to sleep. And I think I'm feeling depleted because I haven't been practicing boundaries. For some reason, I think I want to be able to like form relationships and like trust people, but it's not the type of relationship that I think that I'm getting. I realize that like there's just a lot of things that kind of like deplete my energy, like when there's a lot of sexual harassment, and like siphoning off my energy by like men unnecessarily touching me or like commenting on my body, or something like that. But like I think I'm gonna take it easy today and stay home. I was supposed to go to dance, but I don't know if anyone else feels like really like stressed out, or like just maybe not able to like control your environment as much as you'd like, and like that is like stressful, or there's obligations and a big to-do list, and you only have this much energy and this much money, but it all needs to get done. Things like that, like, I don't know. But when we're feeling like this, just kind of like, I'm not like, superwoman or anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to like practice my coping mechanisms, and for me it's cleaning for some reason. I think it's because I was like a slave when I was a child a little bit, and like my parents like forced me to do like a lot of cleaning. So I think as an adult, I like, I think that I like to clean, but I'm only doing it. I'm just kidding. My parents are great, but they did make us do a lot of chores. But maybe that was good for me because I have a lot of discipline. I wake up early now, and like immediately do chores. So, but and like, and that's shitty, you know. It's like it's shitty, but then you feel good when the trash is taken out, the floors are mopped. It smells like a little bit of bleach. It smells like a little bit of the cleaning supplies. You're removing stagnant energy, and that's the other thing too. It's like when we're feeling zapped and depleted of our energy, it takes work to get rid of that negative energy, and that's why it's so exhausting. But like, what can you do that pours into yourself? So maybe you like to like clean, or like, I don't know, garden. For those who like to garden, or like arts and crafts, like maybe you're into like working with leather. Maybe you're into some type of artistic pursuit. Like that is pouring into yourself. And there's a lot of thumping going around upstairs. So the warfare's been intense. Like the first thing that happened to me this morning, as soon as I stepped out into the street, was like almost got hit by a bicyclist who was like, it was funny. It wasn't like, it pissed me the fuck off, excuse my language, but I was like, bro, put a vest on. Like, I didn't see you, or shit, and you're silent. You're more quiet than a Prius. And then I went to go get my coffee, and homeboy told me that I had a nice body, and then held onto my hand when he's like, high five, and then I was like, and then he like did this, and he like put two hands around it, and then was like, good, love it, good body. And then I was like, that's inappropriate, you can't say that to me. And he's like, there's a problem? And I was like, can I get a large coffee please with 2 sugars, 2 creams? And he goes, 3 sugars? And he does that every time, even though he hears me say 2, and he thinks he's so funny. Maybe he is to somebody else. Maybe it's funny in an objective, it's kind of funny. And then I was like, 2 would be good, 2, yeah. And then he like gives me this like smirk, and like his eyes get big, and he thinks he's so funny. And then his friend came up, and like whoever was there with him, I guess his friend or whatever, like did this intimidation thing, and like got really close to me, and like whatever men do when they're being creepy or whatever, and like siphoned off my energy that I worked really hard to like just get some good night rest and come out and do my workout and then get my cup of coffee. But if there's a woman who's alone, who is remotely attractive, like men will just pounce on that opportunity to harass and abuse and condescend her and disrespect her. They do it every time. If a woman's alone, if you're a woman who's alone, you're gonna lose. We're just gonna lose. I've accepted that we're going to lose as women. And it's never gonna change. It's deeply ingrained. We've been getting raped and harassed and abused and trafficked since the dawn of time and treated as property. It's never gonna change. So just try and find your own peace, and keep pouring into yourself. That's the only way to reverse like all of that toxic, gross adversity that unfortunately women have to deal with. And it could be self-care. So painting your nails, painting a picture, drawing and sketching, cleaning the apartment and doing your laundry to make sure you have like clean clothes to wear, etc. Writing some jokes this morning, that was fun. Hydrate, make sure you're hydrated. Whatever makes you feel better, lean into those things whenever you're feeling drained, zapped, and depleted of your own energy. And then the more that you follow that channel, like the energy will slowly come back to you. It's frustrating, yes, but that way you're in control of your energy and the output. and the input. So that's my little two-piece. I'm having like a little bit of a frustrated week. I lost a friend this week. Not like in a passing away, but we had an argument, and so that is painful. That's partially the reason I'm unable to sleep and stuff. And this is life. This is the hard things in life, and I'm gonna learn how to like just keep pouring into myself, doing what I know feeds my soul and feeds my spirit. Rest, comedy, hydrate, clean clothes to wear so I can continue working out, and making sure that you stick to your routine, and that nobody can mess up your routine. So just don't let anything get in the way of what you know needs to get done. So for me, I have upped it to 3 workouts a day now, 6 days a week. So I've gone full maniac psycho, and I'm embracing it. And this is my message for today. Just work really hard, and like double down on the discipline and the hard work and the output of your like activities that bring you that good feeling of like, oh, I can finally relax. Like, honestly, I have a couple of favorite specials, like Nick Mullen, Year of the Dragon, that just puts a smile on my face and instantly makes me feel better. And like listening to Joe Rogan podcast, any podcast that like, or music, like whatever kind of keeps you zen and chill, especially when it's getting hot out, that will be helpful. And making sure you're getting enough rest, and hydrated. We live in a society that's like super encourages caffeine and constantly working and not enough sleep. So I'm hoping to catch up on sleep this weekend, or maybe take a nap today. But I do believe I've developed a little bit of insomnia, perhaps from stress recently. But I'm working on implementing more yoga. For some reason, I've been feeling a resistance to do yoga. And I'm gonna look into that more. I don't know why, because I know that when I do it, I feel a lot better. But I think it's hard for me to just like let my mind sit still and meditate, like, because yoga is kind of meditative like that. But I don't have nearly as much frustrated emotions when I'm doing yoga. So maybe that's what I'll work on. I'm just trying to like make a video and keep the day going and like stay strong, even though I quite honestly feel like shite. But I'm not gonna let succumb to these feelings of stress and burnout of obligations and work. And instead I'm going to, and like harassment, and like I went to go play soccer the other day, and sleazeball was watching me change out of my like sweaty sports bra back into a bra, and then did this like creepy intimidation thing where he like walked up closely to me and like tried really hard to make eye contact with me, and I just used my hat to block him. But then he like, men are weird when they like want your attention. They'll like get on the phone and like get close to you, but they're not touching you. They're not like sitting too close to you to where you think you need to move, and then they like slowly creep in, and like they treat women like, he treated me like a prey. But it's because I played into the victim mindset, but I didn't want to move because I had been dancing for 3 hours that day, and I just played some soccer, so I wanted to sit still for a second. But that's where the devil always likes to, like, you know, when we're off guard, catch us off guard. And I think he saw a little bit of something on this side. And then I was just kind of sitting there and like trying to do my art, and like he eventually left, and I was like, I felt so like gross after that, and because I was like, dang it, like I didn't want him to accidentally see like anything. But I also was getting shivery and cold in my sweaty sports bra, and I was doing it underneath the shirt and everything, and I was taking my sweet time to making it very, very, very discreet, so almost nobody even noticed, except for he was trying to get as much glimpse as he could in. And it's like experiences like these that make us want to feel like lousy, obviously, but it's actually every attack from the enemy is a learned opportunity to become smarter, better, improved, and closer to God. So whatever you're going through, that was a little bit of what I'm going through. Sorry if it was a little verbal vomit. Whatever it is you're going through, sweet, gorgeous gal, beautiful, gentle, handsome man, remember that every attack is approved by God before it comes to you, before it comes anywhere near you or frustrates you or gets your goat. In that there can be very crafty, clever ways the devil can try and stall your progress or set you back. Like, for example, the reason I lost that friendship is because I wasn't practicing my boundaries, and so I just gave her my cell phone. I don't know what I was thinking. So that set me back because obviously I need that to like make videos and record comedy and record my music and stuff like that. But I wasn't practicing boundaries, and I just realized I was being a pushover, and so like that made me feel depleted and made me feel there's like no other feeling that's worse than being mad at yourself. And like I'm trying to get out of that funk and just be like, okay, well, learned opportunity to practice boundaries and just set boundaries, and just being okay with like, oh, please don't touch me like ever again. Like you're a stranger to me, like, and even if they're not a stranger, nobody should like have the right to touch you if you don't want to be touched. And like when I was at the comedy club like the other day, like homeboy, we went into that mic. Oh, I met him at the mic, and then there's like that cool kinky store or whatever that I always shop at right after that comedy store, and we were looking at the collars, and I was like, oh, blah, 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 like these are cute and stuff, and then he's like, what's your color? And I was like, coral, baby pink, and I was like listing off my colors, and then he grabs one of them, and then he like does this like thing where he like gets all violent and like aggressive with me, and like tries to do it behind a fixture so nobody could see in the store. And it's just like I was like holding around, and I was like, whoa, like I don't like that. And he's like, well, why not? I like you, I want to touch you, I want to kiss you. And I was like, you're not listening to me. Like, what right do you have to touch my body if I don't like it? And he's like, but I like you, I want to touch you, I want to kiss you. And I was like, you're not listening to me. Like, what right do you have to touch my body if I don't like it? And it's like boundaries like that was pretty boss. Like, I wish I could be like really good like that every single time, but the thing about boundaries is that it takes practice, and unfortunately that means having kind of like somewhat of tricky situations that life will be abundant in giving you in order to practice the boundaries. So it's like, it's not always fun in life to like get better at like being more of a boss, like for women and for men, because sometimes women touch men too, and they don't want it. So like, still, like, I know that's a fact. So like practicing what you're comfortable with, and not like being apologetic about it when you lay down that boundary. And if that person has a problem with it, then they can leave. And like, that's the whole point. Boundaries are there to protect you. So I'm gonna do some more yoga, I'm gonna do some more meditation, and try not to like let all the harassment and touching and commenting on my body. Like, homeboy was so weird this morning when I was getting coffee. I was like, why don't you just try respecting women? Like, after he gave me my coffee, I was like, I appreciate the coffee, as always, thank you. I don't appreciate the disrespect. And then I looked at him and his friend, who like came up and got all like weird and intimidated me. Said, why don't you just try respecting women? And then he's like, I'm a virgin. And then I'm like, I didn't need to know that. You guys are being so weird. Why can't you just be normal and see a woman as a woman, not just like something to like condescend and disrespect? You know, it's like, it's insane to me. It's insane to me. I wonder what it'd be like to be a man. One day, I might like, I don't know, man. What would it be like if I just dressed up as a man to like see what it'd feel like, just to like be treated, just to get a cup of coffee and not get harassed? And like I don't understand why you would comment on my body. It's not even 5 a.m. yet, You're lucky you didn't get punched for that. Like, you're really lucky. You're really lucky that I spared you in that moment, because I didn't want to start my day with violence. But it's like when my phone gets jacked for me, when I'm not practicing my boundaries, these are personal experiences that I'm sharing with you. So it's like that can be seen in an aura when somebody's aura is depleted and their energy's being punctured through and through and through. That's why it gets kind of dangerous if you continue to keep going and going, because people will continue to take advantage because they see that you're not putting up those boundaries and that your aura has been punctured. And that's what happens when people unnecessarily touch us or objectify us and like watch us change out of a sweaty sports bra into a regular bra. And it can create the feeling of shame. And it's like none of those feelings are mine. And so I think what I'm going to do this weekend is try and find my center and ground, meditate, yoga, hydrate, and just not let this make me stressed out any more than I should be or need to feel. That is the message, is just like basically burn out in order to turn out, stay energetic when you're zapped, and how to keep going when the going gets tough. We can start to have negative thoughts in our mind. So this is what I looked up this morning, and it did make me feel a little bit better. Psalms 37:4, delight in yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Romans 12:12, rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. Facts. I was on the subway like 6 a.m. the morning, like yesterday morning, and I just like felt eyes on me, so I kind of like looked up, and this woman was just, who looked like she was a nurse. I mean, she had the scrubs on, and she was glaring at me, and I was just like, cool, here we go, it's fine, just you be you, I'll be me, you have no idea who I am and why you're staring at me like that, so I'm gonna forgive you because you do not know what you're doing. And then I just like that, nothing over the top, but acknowledgement that there's a human there, and I look past the negativity that she's trying to put onto me. I just did a slight, that's it, just acknowledging her, out of chance of looking up and catching her glaring at me, just not letting it, it's fine, it's quite normal, it's quite a normal experience. I get a lot of hate on the subway, or a lot of jealousy, because I always do my art on the subway, and people always hate that for some reason. People hate that for some reason. They don't like to see creativity for some reason. And then I was like doing my art and continuing to like journal about my day and my shift, and then I like look up again, and she's just, I mean, death glare, like if a look could kill, and like daggers in her eyes, and I was like, well, I'm gonna get a coffee. I'm gonna get off at 96 and get a blueberry muffin and a coffee, and like I just took a nice little walk, and then as soon as I get my little blueberry muffin and coffee, which I worked my ass off in order to afford, I worked for like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. and I made $11, and that was the whole point, was to make enough money to get breakfast, and I was very proud of myself. I did it, and I worked in heels, and I like practiced my little, rehearsed my new song, and people liked it, and I like got to a new level of like being comfortable enough to like kind of like work the stage a little bit more with like my new boots that I got. They're like cute high heel boots. And as soon as I get my coffee and my blueberry muffin, I'm like about to take like my first delicious bite into it after working my ass off, I hear, "You're dead, bitch." "You're dead, bitch." And it's like some crazy, there's always some goofy wacko who's strung out on God knows what. And I felt fear go all the way through, because it's 6 a.m. and that's kind of when people are craziest. Early in the mornings, that's when a lot of street violence happens. And I was just like, I felt fear like go up through from my toes all the way to my head. And it's funny because I was trying to avoid the lady on the subway who was giving me a death glare, and I was also hungry and wanted coffee. That's like the first joy of the morning, one of the first joys of the morning, other than being grateful for being alive and having another day. And I found it hard to like even focus on my muffin, and I thought, okay, well, if anything, I started thinking about how I was going to defend myself, and I was like, I got a hot cup of coffee, so if he comes up from behind, I didn't want to do that because I worked my ass off to be able to drink the coffee and enjoy it, but I had it ready to go in case I needed to. And it's like when you're leveling up and when you're trying to do better and better, the devil is going to come around in a multitude of ways to try and just put fear into you, apprehension into you, self-doubt, etc. And then I remembered that I could pray, and then I started to rebuke him in Jesus' mighty name. But I didn't let him know that I was scared, but I was doing like quick peripheral check, and I got so afraid at first I forgot that I could pray and rebuke him, and that God would never let anything harm me. So then as soon as I started praying and said, I rebuke you in Jesus' mighty name in my mind, I got the idea to take a turn left, and I went more towards Amsterdam Avenue, and then it cleared out and everything was fine. But it's like, these are just examples of warfare and how exhausting it is to be a human, right? So Joshua 1:9 is a great reminder to not have any fear. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Did I mention Romans 12:12? Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. So that, I believe, has helped me so much, you guys, is really being constant in prayer. But that's pretty much the video and personal experiences, how my week has been going, and how I turned it into a positive message that will hopefully help others. If you ever catch this video and you're feeling strung out for whatever reason, life is throwing lemons, we turn it into lemonade. And yes, I totally was so stressed out I didn't even do my intro, but welcome to the Kimberly channel, where we talk about awesome things literally all the time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great weekend, you guys. I'll see you on the next vid. Peace out.